Hello, welcome to New Jersey. I'm back, I'm done traveling for now. So I thought I would do a vlog bringing you through how I get my life back together after traveling. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of these. Most people just do a pack with me, but because my pack with me was not organized at all and I was not happy with it, I decided to do kind of like an unpack with me so you can see, again, how I get my life back together. So it's the day after I came home. I flew in last night. And I don't normally do anything the night that I fly in just because I'm usually pretty tired. Yesterday we were traveling for 11 hours. I threw one load of laundry in. Yes, I am that person that tries to do their laundry pretty quickly. I've gotten a lot better at it over time, especially when I was working with Disney and I only had a couple weeks vacation. So I wanted to make sure that I came home, got my suitcase undone and all that kind of stuff. So I always take my suitcase down to our laundry, which is down in our basement, right away, so that I don't have to lug all my laundry down. Everything's already down there, and then the stuff that I bring up is what I personally need. So I've brought my toiletries up, but I have to go through and see what accessories I need to take out of there, and shoes and things that aren't going in the laundry. And then also downstairs is where we store our luggage, so it's already down there ready to be put away once it's cleared out. I am going to try and get this done today, like all of my laundry, all of my putting away, because I am going away in 3 weeks, to a program in Canada. So I want to hit the reset button pretty quickly so that in about 2 weeks, when I start repacking for that trip, it's super easy and I'm not scrambling trying to find everything. So let's get going. I gotta start my laundry, so let's turn the light on. And I put one load of laundry on last night, so that's a step in the right direction. I tried to throw things on that I would either need quickly, like underwear, anything I was wearing yesterday, so like all my travel outfits, and there were a couple of things that I didn't put into my packing cubes that I just kind of like stuffed around so that my suitcase was a little bit more full coming home. So anything that was loose like that I threw in. So that's done, and I don't have too much to hang up, which is nice. It's all pretty much going in the dryer. But like I said, I've gotten a lot better at this since going to Disney. I used to be one of those people that would like leave my suitcase for a week or two and not touch it, because a lot of the things that I take on vacation are things that I don't need on a day-to-day basis. Especially since for work I have to wear all black and I was wearing a lot of color on this trip, but I want to hit the reset button pretty quickly, so I'm gonna be good this time. Chucking it all in. Let's see, I got a chocolate stain on my sweatshirt last night, so I want to make sure that it came out. And it did, yay! This is the one major souvenir that I brought back with me. A Disneyland Paris sweatshirt that I really like. I'm also going to be washing my packing cubes. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to, but the trip was 2 weeks long and my allergies were really bad. Even up like through flying yesterday, like I still felt like I had residual allergies even though we were in a sterile plane, which made me think a lot of whatever I'm allergic to was clinging to my clothes and like my stuff. So I'm really trying to wash as much as possible to get whatever that stuff was that I was allergic to off. Cool. So I am going to try and do this by like colors. And there's some things that have to be washed separately, so it's going to be a pretty long day of washing. But it'll all be good. And like I said, I'm going to wash all my packing cubes. I'll link my packing cubes down below because I actually really like these ones. They're really good sizes and I felt like they were able to hold a lot more. Oh, my perfume. It's another souvenir that I picked up. And yeah, for fragile things like that, I don't always pack them in my carry-on. I'll pack them in my suitcase. and I'll really try and shove them in between clothes so that nothing happens to them when I'm traveling. Now, I know on this jumpsuit I got French onion soup spilled on me. Doing that load last night definitely helped alleviate today, so that's good. I'm just gonna run upstairs because I had one mini packing cube in my carry-on. Just gonna go get that. Okay, second load's going on. This is my darks load. I don't typically do my laundry while I'm on vacation. We did have a washer and dryer in our first apartment, but I brought so much with me for the 2 weeks and planned out my outfits so that I could just put everything back into my suitcase and be done. Oh, I'm gonna throw my towel in this load. So I always bring a towel with me. It has saved me on more than one occasion, especially with Airbnbs and like hotels. It's just easier to have like one extra towel, and I always lay it on top of my suitcase in case anything happens. I've had friends open up their suitcases and things have spilled all over. If something were to spill in the suitcase, it kind of keeps it contained. It doesn't end up leaking out. So that's my towel that I've been using for 2 weeks. So she can go in there. Cold, large. Boop. That's on. Bring these upstairs. Now it's time to walk the dog before I empty out more of my suitcase. And for now, I'm just gonna leave my suitcase. I have my accessories from Disney and belts, scarves, jackets, my straightener, some makeup, shoes, all of that's in there. So since those are the only things that I have left, I'm just gonna leave those for now while I walk the dog, have some breakfast, and then we'll bring that up. I'll pop it into my carry-on, and then we'll take everything upstairs. We're getting going. This jet lag's got me real good, so we might as well use it to our advantage. So I do try and get back into a routine as quickly as possible when I get back from a trip, especially a long trip. Like I was away for 2 weeks. So it's good to get out in the morning, walk my dog. I'm not going into work for another 2 days. It's just kind of how it worked out. It's not what I asked for, but today I'm going in to fill out paperwork for my new job that I'm starting. So that's exciting. And then I have training with Charlotte Tilbury, the brand, not the woman, the end of the week. So I really have 2 days to get everything together. So I'm trying to get back into my routine and get everything going. So I am usually the one that walks the dog in the morning. So it's nice to get up, do something, walk the dog. And then when I go back, I'm gonna figure out what I wanna do for breakfast. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have a car this morning, so I thought I'd be able to run to the grocery store, but it looks like I'm gonna have to wait until this evening to do that. So we'll just make do with what we have in the house. And I don't have to be at the appointment until 1, so I'll be able to get my bag together, sort through a lot of stuff, and make a couple phone calls to reschedule some appointments this morning. So that's good. And then I really should try and either get to the gym or go for a really long walk or a run, because I ate a lot of pasta these past 2 weeks and I'm a little extra fluffy, which is totally fine. And I fully expected that. And I know I'm not the type of person that works out when I'm on vacation. It's something that I would like to work on. But the types of vacations that I go on are super intensive. I'm going for a lot of hours a day, and I don't typically wake up feeling energized enough to do a workout. I did a couple yoga mornings to stretch out, because walking a lot really gets the tendonitis flared up, but it is what it is. So we're gonna try and get back into a routine today and tomorrow and see how we can ease ourselves back into reality over the next week. But yeah, I love my morning strolls with my dog, especially now that the weather's getting nicer, so I can just pop on flip-flops and go. Alrighty, she's sniffing a lot, so I'm gonna go because my arm hurts. I thought we'd be home by now. And see you after breakfast, because this is getting my life back together video, and you don't need to see what I end up making myself for that. So see you in a bit. I'm in a successful food coma. It's time to do another load of laundry. I heard it turn off. I kind of took a break to eat and look at some emails and stuff, so we haven't done anything for about an hour. So we're back. Okay. It's so exciting having fully clean clothes. Like, I feel like there's nothing like taking everything out of your suitcase and getting it clean, but it's really not as fun as packing to go away. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick up a ton of stuff out of my suitcase, bring it up to my room. In reality, this part should be the easiest because it's just putting away a majority of the stuff. So I like to use my floor and my bed to organize everything. I don't like putting suitcases or bags on my bed because they've been all over the world, floors of airports, floors of airplanes, just in gross places. I think I'm gonna wash my hair scarves. I think they should be fine, so I'm gonna put those in a pile. But yeah, they've been all over, there are germs all over them, so I try not to put my bags on my bed, but I'll put everything else. The shoes are staying out because I'm gonna be using them this week. And then I get to figure out where to put any like novelty stuff. So when I went to the PQ, we got our badges with our names on them, and then we also got a bag, so those will go in one of my keepsake things. I do like to keep little things like that. And then my phone died. Another thing that I like to do the day after is to recharge all of my electronics. So my portable chargers, my headphones, my phone. So I'm charging my phone now, and I've just been getting everything out of the bags. I'll show you the 2 bags that I brought with me as my carry-ons for this trip. The first one I talked about on my Instagram story. It is my Calpack Weekender duffel. I really loved this. My only issue with it is that for the British Airways dimensions, it was just like 2 inches too big to be considered an under seat carry-on, so I couldn't bring a rolling carry-on, so I had to carry this, and then it was my above carry-on, which is fine, but for longer flights I do prefer to use a rolling carry-on just because it's like another suitcase. I feel like I can pack a lot more clothes in there and extra toiletries and really keep a lot of weight out of my suitcase. So that was the only thing, was that I was carrying 20 pounds around on my back, but it worked really well. It holds so much. I was able to keep a lot more of my like personal stuff, like money, purses, jewelry, things like that in this bag, which I really liked. And as the trip went on, because going back to Paris, the dimensions were a little bit different, so I put a lot more weight into that carry-on on our flight to Paris, and then coming back I had a lot of extra room in my physical suitcase, so I was able to take a lot of weight out of this and put that into my suitcase. So it all ended up working out. The only thing that happened was yesterday this zipper broke. The zipper top came off of it because this woman made me put it into the measuring thing, and because it's not a solid thing, there were bars on it, my zipper got stuck, and so when I went to pull it out, it ripped this open, so it's not flush anymore. I found the zipper thing. My friend found it in the box for me. So I'm gonna see. I think I have a warranty on this bag. If not, I just need to go in with some pliers, but that's the only thing that I'm upset about. So I feel like this is gonna be for a lot more like road trips and things like that, like maybe even a gym bag, I don't know, but I do really like it. It's very sturdy. But I do prefer to take a rolling carry-on just because then if the flight's full, I feel like I can put it under the plane. I don't have to worry about my soft suitcase getting cut up or anything. So that's what's going on with this. And then I decided, I was originally only going to take that bag and a purse, but I decided to take a backpack as well so that I could easily access a lot more of my documents and my wallet. And this was my under thing, so I had like my book, my chargers, and everything in this bag. It's a very small backpack, like in the context of dimensions of backpacks that you can take as your under foot storage. but it was perfect. It fit so much stuff. It doesn't get too heavy because it's really lightweight, and it does the job for me. I'm able to keep a lot of stuff in this front pocket, and the way I stacked everything in here worked out really well. I was able to keep my headphones in here instead of keeping them on my neck, so it worked out really well. I do really love this backpack, and I'd like to get similar ones in other colors just because I love the blue, but I feel like it's for a very specific time of year, which worked out for this trip, but may not work out in the future. But I love this. It was a great investment, and it never hurts to take a backpack on a trip. So I was happy to have it. That's for sure. So now that those bags are emptied and done, I can take them downstairs. I like to I'm gonna keep my backpack up here just because I use it every once in a while, but my carry-on, and I have another carry-on up here that I was back and forth between taking, are gonna go down, and I'm gonna put them into my suitcase with all the packing cubes once those are dry, and then they'll be ready to be pulled out all together for my next trip. So we'll do that a little later. Now I have everything laid out on my bed that I need to organize. So once I take everything out, I just like to lay it out as necessary. So I just kind of put everything out for you. I'm just going to turn these over in case there's anything on there. So this is my area of keepsakes. I have some train tickets, my Disneyland park ticket, boarding passes, and things like that. This could go that pile. I like to keep my boarding passes. I don't know why. It's just something that I do in case I ever decide to make a scrapbook. So these are all gonna get put into a keepsake box. And then my ears can now go back to my ear collection, which I'm hoping I can one day make pretty, but for now it's just a little stack in my closet. And then I took all of my electronics out. I was keeping all of these in this baggie. I love these. I got a lot of these when I was an Ipsy subscriber, and they're perfect for carrying around electronics and cords. So these two things are my adapters and converters. This is a it's an adapter set. So it has all different countries stacked together. And then this is a universal adapter and converter. So I'll just show you really quick. This worked out really well because we had a power strip. So this was able to convert the power strip to 120 voltage, and then we were able to charge all our phones and things. So you just pick whichever output you want. So this is the European one. So that went into the wall, and then the power strip went in here, and then I could choose whether it needed to be a converter or an adapter. So we just needed to be an adapter so that it could adapt the wall plug, but a converter is when you need the actual voltage converted for you. So that worked out really well. I got this off Amazon, and it was great. So these are gonna go, I have a little spot in my closet. Doing things with one hand is really hard. Hang on. So then these I'm just gonna take, and I have a little behind all of my purses, which are my top row of my closet, which looks like a mess right now. I have a bunch of converters and plugs back there. You can't really see, but that's where they all go. It's a bit of a messy situation, but my closet's not that big. So now I'm gonna go ahead and charge up my stuff. I'm gonna charge my portable charger, and then this is my Skyroam, which I'll explain in a second, but I'm gonna get those charging. And then we've got my glasses, my journal, which I finished journaling in on the plane. I love journaling my trips, and this was from my last Prague trip, so I felt fitting to put the second one in here as well. So that was cute. My book, so these are gonna stay together because those are going with me when I commute later this week, and then we'll get into my wallet in a second. Okay, let's figure out how I can, no. Okay, so, the last few bits and bobs that I have to put away, I brought a little mini sewing kit with me, so I have things from my job that I have in a kit. So I brought a pair of scissors in case anybody needed it. Sometimes you get a loose thread, you forget to take a tag off, things like that. Moleskin, this is great for backing shoes in case you have an uncomfortable pair of shoes. So I brought that. A little mini pair of snips, again for threads, some needles, and black thread. I only brought black thread, which in hindsight wasn't the best choice. Like I probably should have brought black and white because a lot of us were wearing color, but it worked out. It did the job. I ended up having to sew a strap on a dress. I bought it at a thrift store and didn't realize that the strap was almost completely ripped off. So we stepped back in the apartment, I sewed it up. So it's not something I always bring with me, but I have found it to be handy even just to have a little like something, like especially scissors even, and you can pack scissors in your suitcase. So I always make sure that this bag goes into my suitcase because you can't bring scissors in your carry-on. So that's my sewing kit, and I'm just gonna put it in my drawer. I have a little drawer over here that I keep more of my kit in for when I go on jobs and stuff. So that goes over there. And then this is the innards of my neck pillow, which looks so funny. I decided there was a zipper on the back, so I decided to take the cover off, and I'm gonna throw that in the wash with all my scarves because I've taken it on several trips now. I've had it for a year, and I don't like thinking about the amount of germs that collect on a neck pillow, and I've never washed it before, so I figured now is the time before I get going on more trips later this year. So that's getting washed. And my Sky Roam, I don't like purchasing extra plans for my phone when I go traveling. It's just a lot of money that I would rather put into things to do on the trip or money for food. So I ended up finding this service, I guess you could call it. It's a little Wi-Fi hotspot, so you just put it in your bag, and they have a couple different plans. So we paid for the $100 for the month since we were going away for 2 weeks rather than paying for daily. I wish they did weekly plans. That would make a lot more sense since they do market it to a lot of people that travel a lot for business, but they have daily and then they have monthly plan. So we did $100 for the month divided by the 4 of us. It's $25 each, which was solid. And we had Wi-Fi for the whole 2 weeks. So the only thing we didn't have was service, which that worked out. We were able to call our Ubers, do Instagram stuff, keep talking to our family, make phone calls, FaceTime on WhatsApp and through iMessage. So it worked out really, really well. The only downside to it is you can connect up to 5 devices, and it does work very well, but if it doesn't have a super strong connection where you are, it is going to be a little bit slower. So some of the girls had issues with that, but it worked out great. We had service for pretty much the entire trip. There were only a couple of hours out of certain days where we were out of range of it. The main one was Versailles. So we were in a beautiful place anyway, so we didn't really need the Wi-Fi. But yeah, so that worked out really, really well. You charge it every night, and I highly recommend it. I've been using it for almost a year. I used it a lot of the time when I was with Disney Cruise Line, since I was out of places that my network ran. So that's great. I'm gonna be taking it with me on a lot more trips this year, and it is awesome. What else do I have here? I just emptied out my folder. I always take a folder of documents with me. So copies of my passport. I always print out my flight itineraries. Even though I check in online with my phone, I always like to have a hard copy of the flight numbers and times of everything. So that was in here. I printed out, we made a sample itinerary on Google Docs, so I printed out our itinerary, and so that we weren't constantly on our phones, we had the physical copy. And then we had purchased a lot of tickets to things in advance, so I printed out our Louvre tickets, our Versailles tickets, our Disney tickets, and then we did a tour of the Clementium Library in Prague. So those were all in here, and I just kept that in my carry-on, nice and compact away. So I always do this, and now I've stickered it out with all my CalPack stickers, so I'll just make a new label for every place that I travel to, and this will be my travel folder. So that's a little insight into how organized I like to be. And then the last thing is money. I do have leftover euros. I told the girls, because my family always brings back euros, we don't always change over or try to use everything. so I told them if they wanted to give me the euros and I'd pay them in dollars for it, they could do that. So some of them did. So now I have some euros for the next time I go to Ireland or wherever. And then I have my own euros. So I'm just gonna pop these into probably this red bag. I'll dub my euros one. I have a coin purse somewhere. I think it's downstairs in my suitcase. I need to find it so that I can now put my pounds away, because I had my pounds in where my Czech krona ended up going. So now I'm just down to euros and pounds. So that's good, I think. We'll see. And yeah, now it's just organizing my makeup and my toiletries, but I don't think I'm going to show you that because it's long and tedious and I want to make sure that I charge my phone. So I think I'm going to end it here so that you got like a little glimpse into how I sort of reset after being on a trip and how I unpack and do all the not so fun stuff about traveling. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up so that I know that you like to see these videos in the future. Let me know if you do want to see a future pack with me when I pack for one of my trips coming up later this year, and anything else. If there are specific videos on traveling you want to see, anything like the gadgets I take, the type of luggage I use, like whatever you want to know, let me know and I'll either do a video or a blog post on it. So that is everything, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!